is probably actually a better adaptation than Lord of the Rings, only because Lord of the Rings to read that shit. I like the context of Lord of the Rings. That motherfucker is hard to read, and it's not because it's detailed. It's honestly because this motherfucker like writing songs, and I just don't give a shit about that shit. I just don't. So it makes the beginning parts a little bit difficult, and I've never gotten through it. But Holes, I read that shit, and it's a quick read, and it's a good movie. Even though they added that whole love story part, excuse me, that love story part, it doesn't ruin the movie. It fits fine. And the only thing that they really didn't hold to is that apparently Stanley was supposed to be a fat kid when he got there, but they weren't trying to have Shia LaBeouf be fat and then lose weight because that just wasn't a good health concern for their shoot schedule. But like that's the biggest omission from that story. Whereas with Lord of the Rings, there's a lot of changes that were done, but it didn't necessarily ruin the story. It just involved literally like a year of almost how do we tell the story without having to go where it's not necessary. Holes was a lot easier with that. And it had that dope ass song, Digging Holes, or whatever the fuck. Digging them. Oh. Lord of the Rings doesn't have a song like that. It ain't got no bop.
What happened? We were waiting for you to break out in the song.
No, you already pay. Now, once the audience starts paying, then they can get me singing. I ain't gonna sing for Massa unless Massa paying some bills. But I love you, Massa. I'm glad to be back. I hope you're here. Maybe. That said, who all is here? Is it you, me, Dre? Is Macho here?
He will be on in a second, I believe he said. He's on his way. I threw the bat signal out already.
That word. Yeah, man. Terrible song. Clever.
You haven't seen Donnie Darko?
I definitely have seen Donnie Darko.
Yeah.
It's kind of what we're going to be talking about tonight.
What do you mean, kind of? Are we talking about the movie or not? Right?
Like, because there's a lot going on in Donnie Darko.
A lot. Would you say?
We're not talking about the movie per se.
But it's going to come up.
Yes, it will.
Are we talking about the rabbit? Are we talking about what? Can you give us just a phrase or something?
Tulpa.
What?
Tulpa.
Fulpa?
No, not Fupa. Tulpa.
Tulpa.
Well, so this way, perhaps I won't get any type of thing on it. I want to say shout out to Donnie Darko because Dre might scoff or laugh at this, but the soundtrack that they used for that movie actually helped me be like, oh, all right, there is good 80s music. It's not just all pop synthy shit. And now it helped me reassess.
That's one thing that I can't stand that you fucking do. Is you motherfucking said Lord of the Rings is one of the greatest cinematic masterpieces of all time. Meanwhile, every time we bring up a movie, you ain't never see it. You've seen every Lord of the Rings movie, but you ain't never seen a whole bunch of other fucking movies. So now you've seen Donnie Darko.
I have seen.
Now that you've seen Donnie Darko, you're like,
no.
music isn't that bad.
No, that happened like over a decade ago. Fuck out of here. I've been seeing Donnie Darko.
Donnie Darko or 80s movies or 80s music?
No, Donnie Darko in the 80s music was like a decade ago. 80s movies, that was more like 5 years ago. Except for like real big ones. I saw Predator, Alien, and Goonies, and maybe some random shit. But nothing.
I don't remember you saying that 80s music was that bad. What'd you say?
What?
I'm really glad Goonies was a part of that because are you even
my dad showed me that shit when I was younger, and I was really mad that like there was never another Goonies when I was growing up because I was like, this is an old movie and this was great. Why isn't there like another one? And now they'll never be a good Goonies again. Nobody wants to see Gen Z Goonies. That shit.
I was gonna say they're gonna try to remake it, but it's not gonna be the same. They can't do it the same way either.
There got to be a reason why they never tried before to remake it.
Probably because they were all child stars and half of them got.
None of them.
Anyway, what are we talking about? No. That's not true. That's not true. 3 of them definitely did have okay careers, if not great careers. You have Josh Brolin in there, who has a fantastic career going on. Then you have Sean Astin, who's at least mid, and then you
He's not.
have
He's had a good career. I don't
and
remember
then
Josh
You
Brolin in that movie.
saying, talking about one of the best movies of all time, and he was in all of them.
Right, he
Which
was in
one?
all of the Lord of the Rings.
who? Oh, Sean Astin. Yeah,
And niggas stop smoking all that weed.
Yeah.
that's all right. Um, but
Wait,
yeah,
I
no,
don't
that
remember.
that
You
Josh,
said Josh Brolin. I don't remember Josh Brolin in the Goonies. That's crazy. Like
Yeah,
I'm really
that's
trying
he
to
was
think.
he was Bran, the
brother.
older brother.
Okay, so he's a minor character, but he's in the movie. Because I'm trying to think. Like, wait,
No, he's there like the whole movie. He's not a minor character.
Yeah, he's a supporting actor.
he's a
There's
supporting
like the
actor.
main actor is technically Sean Astin, but really that movie did a good job of making everybody have some screen time.
Yeah, pretty
That's
much.
why I think it made it so good because it allowed you to be able to relate with the different characters and be like, okay, I like this person, or like you're a fucking douchebag, or whatever it is. Where most movies is like, here's the leader and here's a group of other fucking people, unless it's It or some R-rated movie, in which case they're egregious and extra for like a kid who might be 10. I tried to watch Good Boys and like within the first 10 minutes I just shut it off. I'm like, I get it, they're in sixth grade, but this is hard to watch.
It
I
was,
don't
it
watch
was a
this.
pretty funny movie. I think they tried to play off of Superbad a little too much, but it was a pretty good movie.
Yeah, like you can do super bad at a younger age without actually being R-rated. Like that shouldn't have been an R-rated movie. It should have been a PG-13 coming of age film for people that age, not a movie for adults, which makes it really fucking creepy.
Which movie you talking about? Super bad?
No, Good Boys.
Good Boys.
I don't. I wouldn't say it makes it creepy, but it just makes it weird. Like it's too much effort.
For how much the sexual content is kind of focused on, it's a little weird.
I mean, there's highly weird for you.
That's
And
You
that.
know, I mean,
and
it's weird, but it's normal.
it's written and directed by our favorite little hat. So what do you expect?
Of course, of course, of course. How could I forget?
I just had to look it up. I was like, well, who wrote that movie? Who directed it? Never mind. Never mind.
Yeah,
Never
you
mind.
know, I meant to tell you that we just got flagged again on this channel from
Yeah,
YouTube
yeah,
For
we
what?
did.
Flag? Really? For what?
for an episode from like 6 months ago. It was like celebrity cloning.
Man,
Celebrity cloning.
look,
You
they
could
Oh
don't
get
have
yeah,
the
flagged by
yeah.
statutes and
YouTube.
limitation shit. Like, if you don't catch us within a month, then that's your fault.
Right? The
Hey,
Oh
now,
yeah,
hey,
video's
look.
done.
Well, hold
wrong.
on, Jay.
Keep the
Jay,
episode,
Jay,
motherfucker.
if you care, if you actually care about us getting flagged, then we're gonna have to make a conscious effort to not like say certain words, at least until I think the 30-minute mark or something like that, because YouTube doesn't flag after a certain amount of
Nah,
time.
that's bullshit, bro, because what they flagged us for was almost at the end of the video.
What did you say?
That means somebody
So what
watched
did
it
we
and
say?
I didn't
reported
say
it.
it. We
I
we
mean,
were talking about something and the government came up during the whole cloning episode and they
Like, these
flagged us for that.
motherfuckers are going to say that, yeah, we've done shit
that
like
means
that, but then
someone
you talk
reported
about
it.
it,
Someone
and they're
watched
like,
it and they
oh,
didn't like what they heard.
Oh, I
Yeah,
think it was
that's
the
cool. What Macho said. Somebody had to sit there and watch
Yeah,
the whole
somebody
thing and then
watched it
report it.
and they was like, "Oh, I don't like what they said. Fuck these
Because
motherfuckers."
usually YouTube will flag you if you say certain things like in the beginning of a video, but you can curse after a certain amount of time. But there's certain things you
Yeah,
won't be able to ever say at all. Like you, that's why people have to say you can't say rape. You can't say certain shit.
I've said that shit a couple times.
Yeah, you
No,
can't
Sure.
say
and if you
sexual
say it,
assault either.
it's not that your video will get flagged. If you say it, it's gonna be put in a place where you gotta have to really go out of your way to find this shit now.
Yeah, blacklisted.
Exactly. They're gonna
yep.
put you in a place where
Blacklisted
it's like
show.
it's gonna be hard for you to actually promote your shit and push it. So it's like,
That
damn.
explains why most of our views are low because we talk fucking reckless as fuck.
That's I think it's a lot. That has a lot to do with me because I be saying
But
some
you
reckless
could
shit
curse on
sometimes.
YouTube. You can curse on YouTube, but you can't be reckless and say the shit that we be saying after some amount of time. But like, definitely, we definitely can't say no shit about the little hat people, right? You can't do that. That's gonna always get the flag.
Yeah,
Oh, the God's chosen people.
you would have thought we learned from Kanye already.
I mean, Kanye could get away with
Man,
that, but we
these
can't.
motherfuckers don't learn from each other. Oh,
No, you talking
God.
about us or Kanye?
a little bit of both.
Yeah.
I definitely think we learn from each other.
I was gonna say we. I think we learned.
Oh, this is always so hating
Let's
ass
go do it.
fool
It
out
just
there.
reached the 10-minute mark right now. We're already gonna get flagged for 2 words.
Hey, yeah, well, see, I didn't even know you were
What's
live
the
right now. You
words?
should probably, you should also announce we're going live now, so we don't go so crazy with the conversation and we know to hold back.
I mean, fuck it. That's why people tune in, because we talk reckless behind the scenes and on the camera. So
Hey,
fuck
fuck.
everybody. We talking about Tulpas tonight. Stay tuned.
Let's work. Turn it down and listen to the experts. Gotta give a shout to the Talking Junk Network. Showing love, hosting battles, playing dope joints. The break room topics always staying on point. Never disappoint. We'll never need a makeover. We here for the takeover like Jehovah. Talking Junk break room takeover on the podcast. Dropping bomb facts on demand like Comcast. Now drop a comment whenever they're going live. Hit the YouTube channel right now and go subscribe. Peace.
Talking Junk Network.
Where entertainment lives.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to
BreakRoom, yo.
your favorite rapper's favorite podcast.
See, this is why I like your show. You're very charismatic. You know the right things to say.
Welcome to the Break Room, the podcast that comes to you live every Friday night. Technical difficulty.
Most
Please.
of the time.
Oh, there everybody is right there.
Mostly every Friday night.
Y'all,
How ya-
silent?
Right? Not every Friday night. You know, sometimes we lack.
Would you say we're talking about Tulpa, Tamagotchis?
Oh, word. Aren't
How
they
you
bringing out
spell that?
Pikachu Tamagotchis again?
Yeah, Tamagotchis.
There was
Tulpas.
Pikachu Tamagotchis?
How you spell it?
I don't know, I can't remember.
Tamagotchi. To take over your children and make them serve the empire of the rising sun.
This whole time, Jasmine thought we was talking about tofu. She's like, how you gonna make an episode on tofu?
Right, that shit is
What
terrible.
do you mean? How you gonna make an episode on tofu?
We could.
Tofu
I could.
is the base. You could do so much shit with tofu. Shit.
Tofu's good
However,
for the environment.
You shouldn't eat it that much
You
because
shouldn't
it's
eat
not
it.
good for
You
you.
shouldn't eat it ever, to be honest.
Shit
You
fucking-
really shouldn't eat. If
And
you're
it-
going like, there are worse things to eat, but if you're gonna eat it, don't eat it plain. That's sad.
Yeah, that shit is horrible for the environment as well.
Well, hey, that's
You
what we
said-
do, right? Plant trees and
You said for the
create
environment?
industries.
Yeah,
Destroy
because
everything.
the way they have to transport tofu, it takes fucking
They do it by
these
whale oil.
freaking factories and fucking just to make this shit, and then to transport it, they put in these big ass jets that freaking destroy the environment.
Man, nobody cares about the environment.
I
man.
heard
I'm
that
just
they
saying.
have
I'm
to.
just saying. They
Nobody cares about
they
the
say
environment,
tofu
dog.
is better for you. We're not killing animals. You
Well,
fucking still
They're
destroying
not,
something.
but they are squeezing the ink from squids to mix with their petroleum, so that way they can help their shits go faster. And I know that whale oil is used to make the machines that produce the tofu. So, I mean, shit. Why do you think that whaling is still a thing out there?
Out
It's
where?
horrible.
Out there in Japan.
I was
Yeah,
like,
but
it's a thing
whaling,
everywhere.
How you spell this
they're
topus?
whaling is
I'm not gonna
a
lie.
popular industry there because that's where tofu comes from. That's where
They
all
also hate.
tofu in
They
the
also
world.
hate whales.
Well, what?
Well,
They
that's
hate
because
whales.
whales
Like Free
orchestrated
Willy.
World War II.
They
I
hate
don't know if
whales
you
You
saw
know,
though.
that.
you know how
How
you
the
know how
fuck would
much.
whales orchestrate World War II?
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
You
facts.
know that.
yeah.
Do you know that whale sperm is consumed
Why you
by
lying?
fucking.
Why? Why?
What?
Why you always lie? You gotta
What?
bring up some
I just
sperm.
said it's
Man,
consumed
look,
by
bro.
all shrimp,
Look, I understand if
lobster.
you feel good about yourself and no whale's gonna be your dick twin. There's no
Every
reason that we need to be talking
every
about that.
time I'm just saying, every time you eat a piece of shrimp, just correlate it with some whale sperm because that's all they fucking eat.
That's not all they eat, but
Well, let
yeah,
me
I
let
they
know
you know.
definitely eat some of that.
they consume a large portion.
No,
of
I
So
mean,
what
whale
yeah,
did
sperm.
the
like you
shrimp
know how
eat
big, you know how
before
big a whale
the
is.
whales came?
It don't matter. The
I
whale
know I'm
sperm
late,
is
but
the
did you
most
just say you
important
eat
part
whale
of
sperm?
it.
You eat whale sperm?
Yeah.
Is that what you just said?
He
If
said
Why do you
you
shrimp,
sound
you eat it
intrigued?
before. You
If
ate it
you-
before.
Because who the fuck says
If-
I eat whale sperm?
You
if
ever
know
had
who
the
does?
shrimp?
If you eat shrimp,
People who have those,
tilapia, any bottom feeder gets a
That's a
large
delicacy
portion
now?
of whale
Is that what
sperm.
y'all doing?
they also just get dead fish and like
Right, they eat
overthrown
everything
bodies,
trash.
Shit, feces.
exhaust. The
Yeah.
sea is atrocious, and it has not been helped by us.
That shit don't
So
matter though, because like when you cook your food and you clean it doesn't matter. Like you can say that for everything you ever eaten in your whole life.
right,
You ever
just
eat an
hey,
apple?
just
You
a
ever have an
PSA.
apple before? I'm pretty
Cause
sure
some
apples
horse
is
shit.
not the cleanest thing you ever ate before.
Just a PSA. Make sure you wash your chicken, motherfuckers.
Yeah, wash your chicken with water
There's
and
still
vinegar.
some of you out here with the internet and viral media still not washing your chicken, and
That
then when
don't
you
mean
see
soap,
people
bleach,
rinsing it,
chicken,
right?
You don't
You
have to wash your
motherfuckers
chicken
putting
because Dr.
dial
Haas.
or some shit on there. Like you don't do that.
Yeah, rinsing off your chicken with water is not considered washing. I need to stop it right now.
No,
What
definitely
you,
not.
what you cleaning it
That's
with
just
some
rinsing
horrible?
off your
Hey,
chicken.
that's better than nothing though.
Do you
It's
clean
better
it
than
with
nothing,
soap?
but still, like
No,
better
no
than
soap.
nothing.
You clean
How
your
you-
Why
chicken
would
with
you use soap?
lemon.
Nah, I was asking him. You clean it with soap? Or you clean it with vinegar?
The only soap you can use is the stuff that's safe to eat. You want to wash it with soap, then just make sure it's safe to eat. Ideally, I'd say use the citrus, so that way it helps with the seasoning later.
Like lemon.
Right. If you want to make some lemon pepper chicken, there you go. Use some
Lemon.
I'll
Joy
tell you right
soap.
now, the lime pepper seasoning is better.
I bet it is.
You know what? They're pretty much the same fucking thing. So maybe.
Right.
So after tonight,
What about a limon, Jay? What about a limon?
that's the same shit.
Oh, but it's not. It's a cross between a lemon and a lime. It's a limon.
Oh man, son.
Gotta love Brandon and shit.
The shit that I
Yo,
do.
by the end of tonight, Mach, you're gonna be able to find your dick twin, bro.
Yo, bro.
What the
I
fuck?
think I found it.
That's a major pause right there, cuz you need.
Wow. What the fuck?
No.
It says a blue whale penis has been dried and is on display at the Penis Museum.
What?
At the
Penis
what?
museum?
Bro, I didn't even know there was a penis museum.
Blue whale
Jay,
dick.
Why
Jay, to
would
be
you
fair, there's
though?
a museum for
Why
everything.
would you know that?
Every time they
Right.
ejaculate,
Why would you know that?
ejaculate 5 gallons of sperm about 20 times a day.
What?
Sperm
God
everywhere.
damn.
Go in the
20
ocean.
times a day?
What the fuck?
Yes. Just for fun.
Is that how
So every
they're-
time you go
Damn.
to the beach, just know you probably swam in some whale sperm. And it's just the way of life. It's like,
Nah, it dries up by the time you get to the beach.
you never know. That's just water. That water keep
And
it
blue whale
alive.
sperm must be big enough to see. Where?
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
still, I'm
yeah,
still
you no,
convinced
that's
Would
the
you
coolest thing.
would
You
you
can see that in the
possibly
ocean.
yo listen, they got the dried up fucking whale penis in the Penis Museum. Would you partake in a tour at the Penis Museum?
No.
No.
Any of
Why
y'all?
would I go to the penis
You
museum?
shouldn't even wait for the fucking sentence to finish. It's no.
I mean, for somebody,
Get out of
Well,
here.
that's what I
looking
was
for their
thinking.
dick
While I
twin
was
should go
reading
there.
it,
It's like
while I was
it's
reading it, I'm
connected to
like,
the.
who will go there? When I was
Women?
reading it,
What do you
I was
mean
like,
who
who
would
would
go
go-
there? There's people who
I'm like,
what are you talking about?
You
when
would
it
go
comes
there.
to
You
a
just
man,
said it.
I will go there to see the whale shit. I ain't gonna lie. I
Why
just
you
wanna
want to
see.
go see
Why?
I wanna see.
You can see it
I
online
want-
right now.
No,
I
right.
want to see the I want to see
No.
what the nigga packing. I'd be
Now
like,
you trying to sneak dick and see other dicks. You trying to see what
Nah,
a
nah.
kangaroo what does
Nah,
a
nah.
kangaroo dick look like?
I'll just get the Vision Pro and just watch it.
What
Right.
is
So
a-
that way you can just say,
what does
you
a
know, this
aardvark
bigger than a
dick look like?
kangaroo, right?
Vision Pro, you want to see that shit up close?
I want to see the whale shit right there. Like, oh, I'm here. I'm in the museum.
No, that's cool. That could stay
Nah,
behind
that's
the
just an
screen.
excuse. Go into the dick museum and try to find your dick twin.
Right.
Probably.
Now,
didn't know they even
I
had
need
one.
Macho. Can you do us all a favor?
All
Can you
these
just find out
years,
if there's a
all these
vagina
years, there
museum?
was a museum, Jason.
Yeah, there
'Cause there must
definitely is,
be.
Colin. Colin, there's
I
a
wasted
museum for
all my
everything.
time. I wasted all my time. I could've
Now,
just
let me
went
tell you
there.
something.
Did you
Do
waste
you
your time
really
on
want
the
to go
vagina
to a
museum?
pussy museum and see one? Because
Nah.
that means you see all types, bro.
Right. I would
It
go to
don't
see a
scare
titty
me.
museum.
It's not like
though.
I'm gonna go there and touch it and be like, oh, I'm not. Just
There's no
look.
need. There's no need
Say
to see
shit.
that many dicks
The
in one
worst
place.
part
Though.
about
That's
it
not
is some of them will
necessary.
touch your mind forever.
No,
You don't need
I've
to see
seen.
that.
I've seen worse porn that fucking destroyed
In
my mind.
London, the penis
I bet
museum
you
is in
did.
London.
I-
Oh, the Pussy Museum's in London. Of course it is.
What do you mean? Of course it is.
We out to London.
That's
Hello.
crazy.
Their favorite word is my favorite word.
Yo, Macho, if it came down to it, if you had a choice between the Pussy Museum and the Dick Museum, which one would you choose first?
I go to both.
I go to both.
I go to both.
What the fuck?
I go to both, and I'll make a graph and say
Which
which
one
ones
first?
go. Which one
you
goes?
going to
This man go.
Why you gotta say
penis
graph
goes with
and
which
use your hands
vagina?
like that?
There's
Like,
an
one
exhibit
first?
in the
a lot of
Pussy
signs
Museum
you
where you
like.
smell
I'm
them.
gonna make
say-
a graph.
I'll be like, listen, the vagina in section 2 goes well with the penis in section 7.
What if they're different species?
There's an exhibit in the Pussy Museum where you go and smell them.
I see. Now you jumping into the realm of bestiality.
Nobody heard
I'm not
that?
into that.
Yeah, we didn't hear that weird shit you said.
There's an exhibit in the Pussy Museum where you go and smell them.
Get the fuck out of here.
A smell museum?
A smell
So
section in the Pussy
I'm just
Museum.
curious now. Would you go to the Museum of Assholes?
Who, me? I don't like nothing that has to do with doodle, bro.
Smells like shit in there.
I don't like nothing that has to do with poop.
He
bro.
said
It's
an
good.
asshole museum. Why couldn't you just say an ass museum? You had to say an asshole museum.
If it's
Right,
booty
ass
cheeks,
hole music.
Because an ass museum doesn't sound as potentially terrible. It's probably going to be attractive enough to make
Well,
money.
they're probably
You make
gonna
an
have
asshole.
both, and the ass museum is
But
gonna have
again, this is
everything to
going
do
to
with
be
ass.
all types of asses. It's not going to be
Nah,
that.
not necessarily.
bro.
Not necessarily.
do you
Yeah,
think
it is.
If
the
you
t-
frame it off of like how they did the human slicing shit to see the bodies exhibit, you do it like that, nah, it'll be mad scientific. They gonna show me booties. That has nothing to do with the asshole and how it functions and what it's doing differently.
no, but like this one here we call starfish from the Atlantic Ocean.
Right, the starfish asshole
And
is where it shits and eats.
this one here we call it the black hole because it consumes all cocks.
What the fuck?
That's gonna be me as a tour guide.
You know,
You're gonna be consuming all cocks?
I'll be like a motherfucker from a Catholic church with a fucking hoodie and some sage. But like, follow me.
you sound like you did this before.
With the vest on,
I had to
working for Mohegan.
I had a torturous childhood going
There's
to
an asshole museum
Catholic
in
church
Japan.
every fucking day after school. It was horrible.
What did
Is
you
this the
say,
shit
Jay?
that just be randomly on your mind when you just like, I don't know,
There would have to be an,
My
there'd have
mind
to be an
is
entire department of that museum that's just politicians.
Wait, hold on,
if.
Jay. What'd you say about the asshole museum?
There's an asshole museum in Japan.
Yeah,
said
that makes
Mateo.
sense. That really makes
Mateo,
sense.
¿cómo estás, Mateo?
Man, we really fucking
Yo,
up with them.
Now,
Bibles.
what does this image mean to y'all right here? And we are no means getting paid for this, so I hope somebody tells them that we did this so we can get paid.
What does this image
Or
mean?
Give
or
me
they could just
money.
not give a fuck. That'd be nice. If
That means
oh,
a lot. That means a lot to me, bro. You don't want to hear this.
if what does that image mean? I guess it means if imaginary creatures were real.
Imaginary friend.
Imaginary
feel-
friend.
I feel
If
like
whatever
that
you
picture-
imagine came to be.
it's like the monster from Monster Inc. guys.
Yeah,
stuff
was
in
that
the
Sully,
window.
Sully's
Sully-
cousin, who's technically black, but they made him purple.
Sully's wife had 3 butt cheeks and she got it stuck in the window.
He says my nigga.
I'm pretty sure that was a hand, but yeah, whatever.
Yeah. I know.
It was a hand.
A paw.
We're using our imagination. We're
It's
saying
an
imaginary
allegory
friend.
for PMS.
Question. Have
PMS?
any of y'all
Yeah.
had an if? Have any of y'all
Not
had an
me,
if?
not particularly. I never had an imaginary friend.
I have one now. At the moment.
You have
That's
one now?
crazy. He said he has one now.
And he's not your dick twin? That's disappointing.
No, he doesn't even have human parts, bro.
He said he got one now.
He's alien. He doesn't even have a belly button.
Wow.
He's an alien.
You're
feature.
supposed to have. I mean,
Yeah, his
I
alien
didn't think
features.
I didn't think
You sure it's not
imaginary
just an
friends was
alien,
really
my
a
nigga?
thing.
Yeah, it's Paul.
Who has imaginary friends like that? That's sad childhood. Unless
He
you're, I
lives in
guess
my
you're,
membrane. Huh? What happened, Jay?
I said having an imaginary friend is like that. That's kind of sad. As a kid to have an imaginary friend, like
I have
damn, you ain't
regular
got-
friends, but I have imaginary
You ain't got
friends
no
too.
real friends.
I got real friends. I got my wife.
I mean, you can have both.
No, I'm not talking about now. I'm talking about when you was a kid.
Oh, when I was a kid, nah, I had friends. I just didn't let them know about my friends, my other friend.
The imaginary one.
You had a lot of friends that didn't know
I'll
about
tell you
your
now, that explains a lot.
It does.
Yeah. That's why I used to talk to trees and shit, but I wasn't really talking to the tree. I was talking to my boy.
You were a descendant
You
of
were,
a
you were playing Lord of the Rings, talking to the end. You were in her.
Nah, I never
Wait, they
had
have
a
trees in New York? You sure
I
those were
wish
trees,
I
Michael?
did. I wish I did because I did talk a lot to I still to this day talk a lot to myself. But I wish I did because there were times where I was bored. I need somebody. I just talk to myself.
You got a tree out front? Grab your camera, go talk to it right now. Let's see what happens.
But like I be like Mama Abuelo.
No, what if it doesn't speak Spanish though? You gotta know a language to
Pocahontas.
speak. You gotta learn the
Okay,
native
you're
language
gonna
of
have
your
to
area.
read that. I can't see that.
What is a tulpa?
Tulpa.
It sounds like
I was there
A
putting tulpa.
tulpa is an entity created in the mind, acting independently of and parallel to your own consciousness. They are able to think and have their own free will, emotions, and memories. In short, a tulpa is a sentient person living in your head, separate from you.
it sounds like
But you create him.
Schizophrenia?
Do you
Yeah.
create
Right.
this?
Yeah.
You create this tulpa. You created that first, and then it becomes separate from you. This
Right.
or
That's still schizophrenia.
you're not
yeah,
being
you have to
possessed
manifest
by
it first before you
outside.
can separate yourself from it.
Okay, yeah. So I have one of those. Definitely, I got like 3 of them motherfuckers living in me.
You're on the
This
loose
nigga
right
be
now.
like, I'm the tulpa master.
This right here, this the hotel.
Your crazy ass friends in your head is on the
I
loose
got,
right
I
now.
got a
Hey
tulpa
Macho, you got
hotel
a
going
corner
on
of your
with me.
closet you don't look at except on the weekends?
No,
Right
I
next-
don't need that.
Right next to the skeleton.
It's like the Vision Pro, but the biological version.
You mean tunnel vision?
The
Vision
biological
Pro.
version.
You mean visor? Because you're like doing a completely different hand gesture.
That's just my maneuvers, bro. I'm weird like that.
Okay. Does your friends do that too? The balloons?
No. I got full function of my body. They don't.
But they're still on the loose, right?
They
Well,
up in
you
there.
don't have full
One right
function,
now.
you only have quarter function.
You can recognize them in the lineup, right?
He's telling me to go to that museum, and I'm like, yo, chill.
Oh, okay. I understand. One of those personas is a little, hey.
Hello. She's a female, bro, too.
Okay, so I guess she's straight.
Well, tulpa is a
straight
concept
gay.
originally from Tibetan Buddhism and found in later traditions of
What that is right there?
Huh?
What that is right there? You can see that?
Where'd he go? What are you showing? What is that?
That's
Is
a
that her?
Buddha. He just said Tibetan. It comes from Tibetan Buddhism.
Do you rub it for luck?
Is that your tulpa?
No, but he says that it originates from Buddhism, and I never knew why I got this tattoo.
You never knew why until now?
Yeah, the tulpas made me do it.
The tulpas made me do it. That's gonna
Maybe
be
you are the tulpa.
excuse.
I identify as a tulpa. I go to little kid. I go. Imagine a motherfucker do that, like some fucking pedophilia uses that shit. He says, "I go to little kid school because I'm a tulpa. I'm their imaginary friend. I identify as a tulpa."
You're still going to jail.
You're getting
You're still
shot
going
on
to jail.
spot,
That's
sir. I promise that.
crazy. It wasn't me. It was the tulpa.
It was the tulpa. I don't have control.
That shit sounds like a fucking.
It's like, well, that's all right because we have
taco.
control of whether or not that tulpa is gonna be able to act out
It
again. Get in the
sounds like-
fucking cell.
It
You
sounds
say,
like
you and a tulpa could share a cell together.
it sounds like a delicacy from Mexico, like a
Right?
a taco. Tulpa.
You know why?
Tulpa
Because it sounds
gonna
like
kill you.
it sounds like tapas.
Yeah. Or
And that
Tulsa.
used to be a big ass thing where like, oh, let's get a bunch of little like mini meals and just eat it together because that's so cool. That's one of those things that people rightly get on California for that type of shit. But
I mean,
y'all
that's
got-
how some people live life. So,
But yo,
They
nah,
do,
no
but-
joke. All jokes aside, y'all never had someone in your family that had it. I've never really known someone that had an imaginary friend.
I don't think you're supposed to tell people you have an imaginary friend after.
No, but like you never walk to someone like even now as an adult, you never walk to someone's house that has kids, and then you be looking at the kid, and you be like, "Yo, who you talk to?" Oh, he got an imaginary friend. I haven't even encountered that yet. Still, at 37, I haven't encountered that shit.
Like somebody else having an imaginary friend.
Saying like, you go to a friend's house or a friend of a friend's house, and you see like a little kid playing, and you be like, "Yo, who the hell your son talking to?" Oh, you're talking to his imaginary friend, it's Charlie or whatever, you know. I've never,
goes well.
I never encountered that shit.
That never goes well because my imaginary friend be beating the shit out of theirs, being like, punk ass bitch. I be telling like, hey yo, don't be going off on people like that, bro. This is why I be talking about like I gotta let you go if you're gonna be
I'm
springing
pretty
off
sure
on
Why
kids
would
like
your
that.
imaginary friend beat up kids?
No, not kids, the imaginary friends.
No, but your imaginary friend is beating up the other person's imaginary friend.
Yeah, that's what he said.
And
Hey, it was an on.
your imaginary
Be like,
friend is
your
probably
imaginary
not a
friend is
kid,
pussy.
right?
He said,
Why?
No,
yo,
he's not.
he said,
But
Chuck, you
neither.
pussy.
Why?
No, I'm
Why
saying, I'm like,
would the kid have an imaginary friend that's a kid? It's usually like a kite that talks or some shit.
So it's usually a kid that's a kid, or
or it's
I
usually
mean,
a grown ass man.
from what I've been told, okay,
So
that's
it's
not the
older.
case. These are not humanoid things he be beating the shit out of. He just be, I don't know, whatever. Ain't nobody hurt.
I
Kid
think
don't
my
be
daughter
crying though.
probably, my daughter
You know,
probably
they be
has one.
quiet. They be quiet. They listen. When the imaginary friend can't be whispering in their ear, being like, "Don't listen to mommy." Be
well,
like,
yeah,
"Get that."
they're not real, so they can't
They
really
made a
talk.
move. They made a movie years ago about an imaginary friend. I think no. I think it turned out to be a horror movie. I don't know.
Like Donnie
Hit
Darko.
No,
Cooney man.
I don't even remember Donnie Darko.
That wasn't his imaginary friend.
I saw one. I saw that shit one time.
He
I
was
don't even
imaginary
remember that
friend
shit.
of the hood.
Yo, what happened to Jason?
He was an imaginary though.
Well, you know, if you didn't see it, it was imaginary.
Wait, who you talking about?
Tulpas.
Darko?
Tulpa.
No, I'm
Hey,
talking about Cooney man.
I'm
Like,
like,
if
yo,
you
let
didn't
me
see
get.
the events, it sounds
It
imaginary.
sounds
Like,
like you
oh, I'm
going
sure it was
to
right.
hysterical.
go to a Mexican restaurant, but like, let me get 5 tulpas with extra cream. Thank you.
They'd be like, okay,
Put a little bit of the
Moreno,
white.
Cabrón.
Put some extra
Wait,
sauce,
what
papi.
what
Okay,
does that mean?
They would look
Can
dickhead.
I
at you and
ask?
they'd be so disappointed that you know Spanish. That's the
Well,
look they
one
would
means
give you.
it means a plethora of shit. It could mean where one means dickhead. It could be asshole, or it could be homie. What's bro? They use that
Oh,
shit to
quiero
greet.
chingar cosas. Huh?
I'm gonna get some Tulpas. Tulpas.
Hey
Tulpa.
there, Juan. Can I get myself 4 or 5 tulpas and
Why would you
give
say
me a
4 or 5? Pick a number. I'd be like, dickhead, pick a number. You want 4 or 5
cook
of them?
cook me
Man,
4
you wanna
and then have
surprise me,
5 ready to
motherfucker.
go in case I'm still hungry.
Hey
Okay, a
man,
couple Texas
go light
portions
on
ain't
that
big enough,
cream.
so I don't know
Right.
how many I need. So I figure at least 4 times the amount should be one Texas portion.
And hold the white sauce,
I don't
motherfucker.
got I don't got time to
Man,
waste.
I don't be going places where they serve white sauce because I don't want that problem.
Right. It's either green or red.
I ain't gonna lie, that grease sauce be hitting though.
Give me
I
a.
would say
I'll take an olive oil.
usually green. Wait, what?
Yeah,
Olive oil?
I love it. It's good.
Mm-hmm.
No, no, on like on your for your Mexican food?
I could put olive
Oh
oil
no
on
no
this.
no
I
no
never
no!
thought of it, but that
I
kind of
started thinking of
sounds
pasta.
Yeah, like
a
that's
like
what
nice little drizzle. I'll try it.
Macho. You ain't never think of it because it don't make no sense to put olive oil on
Yeah, it
Mexican
don't.
food.
But now I want to try that shit
I would say you could try it maybe on some on a tortilla or something, but
on some
uh,
homemade shit.
Look, they don't. That's not native to them, so I doubt it's really gonna mess like that. But you know
it could
what?
work.
There's fusion cuisine, so it could work.
What's that
Most
shit
Give me
fusion,
called?
Shot.
Prosciutto?
fucking
hey,
What's that?
Waterbury.
most of the time, fusion
What's
cuisine has to be like real niche. It has to be perfect. Like you can't
what's
make a lot of
that?
shit work.
What's the name of
Yeah.
that Jewish? It's like a Jewish dish.
Uh-oh. All
It's
right.
A
like a
Now
bagel,
we've
hard.
been flagged.
a
No,
bagel.
no,
Yeah,
no,
we're
no.
getting flagged now.
No,
Fucking,
we're
you
not.
fucking said it.
It's a hard bread and it has diced up tomatoes with olive oil. I think it's called
Matzah, the
prosciutto.
matzah bread.
No, prosciutto. Prosciutto
That's
or
not
some
meat.
shit.
That's a
Bruschetta?
meat, nigga.
Italian,
That's
bro.
Italian.
Prosciutto's
Is
not.
it?
Yeah, prosciutto's fucking meat. It's a cut.
Yeah, but I know Jewish people love eating that shit. Every time they go to restaurants, they buy
Prosciutto?
that shit.
Some
Prosciutto, yeah.
gabagool?
Some
Gabagool is only
gabagool.
for Italians,
Get out of
huh?
here, you goddamn molly.
He said the
Hey,
gabagool.
Tony, pull up the charcuterie board.
Get the charcuterie with some gabagool and
Hey,
monster,
look.
huh?
Hey, yo, Vinny, we're gonna go fucking whack him, man.
Hey, when you go out to see fight, give me some nice mortadella, huh? I've been wanting a sandwich
Right.
all week.
Don't push the buttons. I'll tell
God
Benny
damn
Diapers
it.
about you.
Nigga, it's
Fucking
crazy. It's what's really wild about Italian food is there's like 100 different types of pasta. There's
Right.
mad
So
pasta.
many.
And it's crazy
It's
because
all the same shit,
it,
just fucking
it
cooked differently.
It's all the same, but
well,
it's not because
it's
there's mad
yeah.
different cuts and
right,
different
because
like ways
orzo
to
is not
make
like
it.
penne.
What'd you say?
Well, yeah.
You're
Orzo is
right, because
definitely not like
orzo is
penne.
not like penne.
Well, yeah, like it's all the same shit. I guess when you go through the process of like
Like a
making it.
thin spaghetti meal is not going to taste the same as a thicker spaghetti meal. It's the same thing, but it won't taste
I
the
think
same.
that'll taste the same.
It
If you
yes
do
and no.
everything
Like
else the
you're gonna
same, wait,
notice.
hold on. I see what you're saying, but if you do everything else the same, it won't be that crazy.
Right.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, because
Still tastes different.
everything has to be prepared differently.
You'll
Just like
notice,
how you have
but it won't be
noodles.
like, oh my god.
See, but
But like
there's
you
a
got
difference between the noodles that are
right
served with the sauce on top of it versus you cook it in the sauce together, so it's like all
that too.
together.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
everybody like
I
there's a
hate that
difference.
shit.
I like it all
You
together,
said wait. You
light,
said you hate
light
that shit.
sauce.
I hate when you cook the pasta noodles in the sauce. The meat should go in there, but the pasta noodles, you don't need to do that. That's too much
And I
cooking
don't
for
think
your noodles.
I don't think it really makes that much of a difference.
Now
But
you
I
can add the
understand in the
noodles when
prep.
it's
I don't
already and
like
mix
no
it,
wet. I
but
don't like
cooking
no
it in the
soggy
sauce,
ass noodles.
yeah,
I
that
don't like
Yeah,
makes it
no,
suck.
but you
soggy.
got that's the thing. You gotta
I
time
don't
it
like
right.
it wet. I
They
don't
have to
like
be
it
al
wet.
dente.
I like the noodles to
Right.
be
Because
perfect. Like it
if you
can't
cook it
be.
al dente and then you add it with the sauce, then the little bit more that it cooks, it'll be good. But if you already
Uh,
got it cooked past al dente and then you put it in the sauce, you cook it in the sauce so
let's
everything is
get back
good,
on this tulpa.
it's gonna be fucking
You wanna
Yeah,
get
my
some?
fucking
yeah,
internet
right.
cut out for a little while, so I was talking and reading from this, but didn't know
Yeah.
that the internet cut me off and
Can,
that I wasn't in the stream.
you read half of the shit.
Yeah,
Go
but I'll
ahead.
say it again. There's says tulpa is a
Thought we
concept.
were doing really good.
Tulpa is a concept originally from Tibetan Buddhism and found in later traditions of mysticism and the paranormal of a materialized being of thought form, typically in human form, that is created through spiritual practice and intense concentration.
Oh,
Modern practitioners who
easy.
call themselves Tulpamancers use the term to refer to a type of willed imaginary friend which practitioners consider to be sentient and relatively independent. Modern practitioners predominantly consider tulpas to be psychological rather than a paranormal concept. The idea became an important belief in theosophy.
Theosophy.
Pronunciated that well. Oh,
What is
shit.
theosophy? What is that?
A word.
Yeah, obviously.
Do you know what
Can we
theology
get
Look it
in?
is?
up.
Can we get? Can I
It's
didn't
like
know
the
you could.
philosophy of
I left my other
religion.
phone inside.
Theosophy is a religion established in the United States during the late 19th century. It was
It's a
founded
teaching about
primarily
God
by
and the world
Helena
through a mystical insight.
Blavatsky and draws its teachings predominantly from Blavatsky's writings,
Oh, Helena.
categorized by
Oh,
scholars
so
of
it's just
religion as both a new religious
some
movement.
fucking trash ass religion. All right, keep going.
Don't say trash, bro. You never know who's listening.
Whatever the fuck you
It
say.
often capitalize the teachings of a modern movement originating in the U.S. in 1875 and following chiefly Buddhist and Brahmic theories, especially of pantheistic evolution and reincarnation. That's what theosophy is.
Yeah, that.
Okay. All right, good.
All right, so it says the
So-
concept of tulpas has origins in the Buddhist. What the fuck is that? Yeah, you can say it.
Nirmanakaya.
Yeah, that shit. Translated in Tibetan as spralpa. There's no way that translates to that.
It's
you
the
mean
third
there's no way,
aspect
nigga? You
of
don't you don't know the language, nigga?
the physical manifestation of a Buddha in time and space.
It's crazy how the tulpas being fucking correlated with something positive. Keep going.
Why it doesn't have to be negative though.
Well,
I'm just saying I didn't think it would be either, but go ahead.
Most imaginary
the
friends
term
aren't
imaginary
negative.
friend in itself, with more than enough concentration and focus on one thing, you're giving life to something. If you do it too much, you can't differentiate you can't differentiate from what you made up in your mind.
I'm saying let me rephrase that. I didn't think it would be related to something religious, but go on. That's what I meant to
That's why I
say.
brought up at the beginning of the episode Donnie Darko.
That was a good one.
I only seen it once, and I can't recall it for nothing. So that's something that I should probably elaborate later.
It kind of does relate a little to religion because it's a belief, it's a faith.
That
faith in
rabbit named Frank in Donnie Darko was a
Tulpa. I could see it that way too.
Yeah. So like you manifesting, this sentient being to help you,
Matter of fact, did any of y'all see Wes Craven's New Nightmare?
No.
Yeah, I think I've seen it.
The fucking Nightmare on Elm Street, the remake, or what the fuck?
It's not a remake. That was the one before the remakes. That I believe that was the last one that this dude did.
I don't recall that shit.
Robert Englund. Not
Freddy.
Yeah, Freddy, the real Freddy. But this is when you see Wes Craven and everybody in the real world. The actors, the actresses, everybody's in the real world. And Freddy is slowly becoming real. He's becoming sentient because of all the beliefs of all these people. They're bringing him to life.
All of their fear thinking about him. That's why they used to always say in the movies, don't mention Freddy's name.
So he's becoming a biological thing. More than a
matter of fact, I know everybody's heard of it here, but I have to ask anyway. Have y'all ever heard of the Slender Man?
Yeah, I've heard of that. I know a couple niggas that look like those niggas too.
Well, that the Slender Man is said to be one of the first tulpas that we can recognize in modern day, which I don't believe because look at Santa Claus, but that's another story. Slender Man was
Santa Claus is fake.
He's saying, but Santa Claus is an imaginary friend.
Santa Claus is what, Dre?
I said he's not an imaginary friend.
I mean, there's a fine line.
I mean, he's not neither is Slenderman ain't nobody's friend either.
Yeah, you got to think about it. It's kind of like
that's a common misconception because tulpas aren't imaginary friends.
Because most imaginary friends don't have posters everywhere and fucking figurines and celebrated type shit. So I understand what Jason said, but I understand Dre too. So
yeah, no, I see what you're saying too. Like it doesn't have to be an imaginary friend.
You know what other movie is a really good depiction of that? Fight Club.
Right.
Right. Man created a whole other persona that acted like a whole other person that had like this whole thing.
That's like multiple personalities.
And then they got him into it. Come to find out, he's been doing what you're saying. Time.
So is Tulpa's
Salud, Boricua,
an imaginary friend, or is it?
It's really supposed to be an extension.
I just want to say real quick, Santa Claus.
But Macho, remember you said you got you had like 3 or 4 of them. Remember you said you had 3 or 4 imaginary friends. So it's that's like 4 other personalities you got.
Yeah.
Right. Whereas Saint Nick is a real entity that will show up if you're good. So if you don't see him,
not even that. Saint Nick is an actual saint.
We influencers, man. We can't be telling these kids this shit too early.
Only
that Santa's real, and all people tell you he's not real. Just want you to be bad kids. Be good, kids. Don't listen to your fucking parents. They've been bad for too long, and they won't be on the good list ever again. Be good, relentlessly. Be kind.
That's red flag number 1.
Be kind. Rewind.
Well,
fuck your parents. Be kind.
What was the red flag for? Seriously?
No, I said if kids are watching this podcast, there's a problem. That's a red flag already.
Right. So that's why I'm trying to teach them because fuck your parents. They're not paying attention to you. Be kind in everything you do. Santa will show up.
A small idea of what freaking authority is. You can say, no authority, no rules, no policies. Just be free. This is never land.
Do what you want.
We shall be kids forever. Dragon of the Flies.
Little do they know. Oh my goodness.
All right, let's move on, Jay. Let's move on.
Yeah, sorry. Back to the topics.
The one imaginary friend that I can think of that could probably be considered a tulpa is Drop Dead Fred.
Who?
What about when
Drop Dead Fred?
That's the one I was talking about. Oh, I was saying. I feel like
earlier.
Yeah, I was like, I seen a movie with an imaginary friend.
Who? John B. Friend?
Drop
John B.
Dead
Say
No,
John B.
Fred.
Drop Dead Fred. Put it up on the screen.
No.
Put it up on the screen, Jamie.
I'm putting it.
Jamie.
Yeah. I remember that shit. That shit is old, man.
Who the
That was
fuck
a
is
good.
in that
I ain't gonna lie.
movie? Who is that?
That was a good movie, bro. Like for like I don't know. I like that movie,
What the hell is that?
It's my wife's favorite movie.
bro.
Really?
And then eventually,
BB
she has to get rid of him at the end.
That
of the
looks
movie.
like
It's
the
kinda
main
sad.
singer of My Chemical Romance. Who the fuck is that actor?
Word,
You
you
got
don't
like-
see him around.
You got like a small clip of it.
Yeah, I'm pulling it up right now.
She got that mushroom cut. This is definitely a 90s.
Man, that shit is so old, bro.
That's old, like 80s, 90s.
I remember
I feel like
watching that
whatever
shit mad
studio
times.
right now
made
is
and produced
you
that
91.
shit
this up
doesn't
for
exist.
educational purposes only. I need to school my crew here on just exactly what a Tulpa kind of looks
Great-
like.
Yeah.
But it's a
Great
fine line
nostalgia.
because they
Hey,
consider
Great
what's up,
nostalgia.
Cody?
What's a
Bitch,
Tulpa
nigga.
look like?
Welcome to the show.
What up, Corey?
He called him
talking
Cody.
Oh
about
shit!
Jason.
I called you
That's crazy.
Cody, honestly, because that shit's so tiny and I can't
Dude,
read and I've
that's
never
his
read
brother.
it. My bad, Corey.
Wow, 91.
Nice to see you, bro.
Bro, this movie is fire, bro.
Like many
it's the
small
mega
children,
bitch.
Lizzie had an imaginary playmate,
Drop Dead Fred is going to teach me how to cook today.
someone she could talk to,
Sugar?
Yeah, he used to make her do fucked up shit.
someone she could share with,
Oh, Grandma Bun!
someone who
What
would
the
never
fuck?
let her down.
It was a good movie.
Dead Fred!
That's a strong ass little girl.
Now Lizzie is all grown up,
To us.
and when her perfect life fell apart,
Charles?
Uh-oh.
I lost my money. My
I
car.
remember that
My
fucking
husband.
actor.
she didn't get mad.
Drop Dead Fred.
She got Fred.
Oh, that's right. I forgot.
Dropped Dead?
He had him in the fucking team.
Drop Dead Fred is this imaginary friend that I had as a child, and he's back. Everybody has strange friends, even you must.
But all mine are alive.
That's not
I
saying
feel like
much.
this was made by the same people that made Baby
It's
Jesus.
no wonder Charles left you.
Haven't got a husband, got a stupid haircut.
You see, you just don't know how to make a marriage work.
Well, let's get Charles back then. I'll help you.
Just behave ourselves.
Whoa. Whoa. Now we're getting
What's wrong with that?
You can't do that.
These are like the same
To
motherfuckers
show
that
her,
made
no
masks.
matter
Oh
how
my
bad
God.
things look now,
Peekaboo.
they can always get infinitely
My
worse.
thing is, he's making
Drop
her
Dead Fred
in
was
real
way
time.
out of control. Have I got him? Dead little man.
Nobody.
It's because he's invisible. Idiot! I don't want an imaginary friend anymore.
Right, that's it. I hate you.
This looks fantastic. I'm gonna watch this after the show.
Drop
Look
dead
at
Fred.
that. Look at that. That cut was
what does that
smooth
taste
as hell.
Every child should have one,
Oh, it's old school.
especially when she
It's bad
grows.
nostalgia right
Look
now.
at that.
I hate
That-
I hate
that
the, I hate
movie-
the I hate the fact that that's the movie you thought of when you thought of an imaginary friend. Of all the terrible '90s movies, there's so many bad '90s movies, and it's
That's
like
Yeah,
the
what-
only
Drop Dead
one that
Fred. Yeah,
that's-
right.
What
I'm
about
telling
the
you, that's
one where,
only one
with-
that I could remember that's actual imaginary friend? Everybody else is like a spirit or some possessed shit.
Oh, I was gonna say, what about Ghost Dad? But yeah, he's a spirit.
Oh, dead.
That's not a imaginary friend, motherfucker. Rick.
No, but I just wanted to bring up that he made that fucking movie.
You just wanted to bring up Bill Cosby.
No, I just want to bring up that movie because it's so terrible. Like, how the fuck you get? Why'd you do that? If you told me that movie is the reason why all that shit happened with NBC and like he went to jail, I'd be like, okay.
What? He went to jail?
Yo, Jay, where you go, Jay?
Yeah, because somebody made a joke.
20th century physicists adapted the Vararian concept of the emanation body into the concepts of Tulpa and thought form. The physicist Anne Bassett in the book 1905 thought forms divides them into three classes: forms in the shape of person who creates them, Forms that resemble objects or people and may become ensouled by nature, spirit, or by the dead. And forms that represent inherent qualities from the astral or mental planes, such as emotions. The term thought form is also used in Evan Wentz's 1927 translation of the Tibetan Book of the Dead. The concept is also used in Western practice of magic. The Slender Man has been described by some people as Tulpa effect and attributed to multiple people's thought processes. Occultist William Walker Atkinson, in his book The Human Aura, described thought forms as simple objects emanating from the auras surrounding people, generating from their thoughts and feelings. He further elaborated in Clairvoyance and Occult Powers how experienced practitioners of the occult can produce thought forms from their auras that serve as astral projections, which may or may not look like the person who is projecting them, or as illusions that can only be seen by those who awakened astral senses.
So, real quick, how is this?
So possessions count, basically.
Like, how is this just not demons and shit?
How is it not what?
How is it not demons and shit like that? There's always like, oh, all that is not real. There's no demons and angels and blah blah blah. But then they're like, and then there's thought forms and they're imaginary friends. And I sound like this because I'm talking out of my asshole, so I fart when I talk. Like, what the fuck is this shit?
You could kind of categorize some cryptids as tulpas.
You could, but you could also classify them as demons. I'm just saying, why are we making shit so fucking difficult? We already have shit that defines like, oh, that sounds like a demon, but we're not going to say that because that's attributed to religion, especially a specific religion, so we're not going to do that. We're going to call it some whole other bullshit and give it the same attributes as something like a demon, or it has demons have been depicted, and then just say, oh, it's a thought form. Why isn't it an angel or a demon? Why isn't it one of those two things? Why do we have to make things so difficult? Because if we would stop doing that, I bet we could connect a lot more shit together and make a lot more sense.
True.
It all depends on perspective, because if you're not a religious person, you don't obviously go to the thought process of angels and demons.
But if it literally is parallel to exactly what somebody is saying a demon would do, and you're like, well, I don't believe in that,
right.
So it's this, you're a fucking retard. That's literally saying I need evidence, I need to see and believe, but then if there's evidence that's literally you can see or believe, but somebody else said it's a thought form, it's not a demon, suddenly, well, that makes sense because they gave me a scientific context, as opposed to being like, you know what? That sounds a lot like this. Maybe that's the scientific context I've been looking for. Maybe I should reassess this thing here. But people don't ever do that. They discredit that shit all the time, and I don't understand. We make progress in certain fields of the same thing.
You know what kind of sounds more like tulpas to me also?
What's that?
Where the wild things are.
Yeah, that.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So this is before I get on with the rest of the tulpa and tulpa man. You know what? Let me just read the rest of this because it's not too much.
Yes, do.
Alexandra David Neal, a spiritualist, stated that she had observed Buddhist tulpa creation practices in the 20th century Tibet. She described tulpas as magic formations gathered by a powerful concentration of thought. David Neal believed that the tulpa could develop a mind of its own. Once the tulpa is endowed with enough vitality to be capable of playing the part of a real being, it tends to free itself from its maker's control. According to David Neal, this happens nearly mechanically, just as the child, when her body is completed and able to live apart, leaves its mother's womb. She said she had created such a tulpa in the image of jolly Friar Tuck-like monk, which she claimed had later developed independent thought and had to be destroyed. David Neal raised the possibility that her experience was What the fuck? What?
Elusive.
Anyway,
Elusive?
it was all in her head.
Illusory?
There you go, guy.
Luscious?
No, he's right. Illusory. I may have
Allosauri.
created my own hallucination, though she said others could see the thought form that she created, which means she was observing topomancy, which is what these people call it now. And it says
Wait, you said topomancy?
topomancy.
That's
like
people that really
necromancy?
want, like,
Yes.
yeah.
Right.
Influenced by depictions in television and cinema from the 1990s and the 2000s, the term tulpa started to be used to refer a type of willed imaginary friend. Practitioners consider tulpas to be sentient and relatively anatomous.
Autonomous.
Yes, I know what that is. I fucking said it wrong.
He was flying through that. Go ahead.
Too fast. Yes. Online communities dictated to tulpas spawned on a 4chan and Reddit website. These communities.
Whoa! Just stop talking.
Right. 4chan
Reddit,
and
okay,
Reddit?
but 4chan, oof. 4chan is
oh god.
These communities refer to the tulpa practitioners as tulpamancers. The communities gained popularity when adult fans of, oh my god, are you kidding me?
Nope.
My Little Pony?
Yes, adult fans.
Oh my fucking god, I knew it! Some weirdo creepo shit.
Started discussing tulpas of characters from My Little Pony television series. The fans attempted to use meditation and lucid dreaming techniques to create imaginary friends. Surveys by Versois explored this community's demographic, social, and psychological profiles. These practitioners believe a tulpa is a real or somewhat real person. The number of active participants in these online communities is in the low hundreds, and few meetings in
low
hundreds place.
You know, it's kind of... I'm sorry, continue. Finish up. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. I had to cough up some phlegm.
Yo, breathe.
I was just gonna say it's fucking wild that the My Little Pony community, which happens to have a lot of very
first of all, they were bronies.
individuals in it, is also at the
what kind of
forefront.
individuals? What kind of individuals?
You know, just the kind that are like grown
I
men.
don't know. That's why I asked.
Oh,
What kind of people are we talking about?
We're talking about grown men that are single, and then we'll make sexualized photos of ponies.
Those
And
guys.
do lots of kind of creepy shit, and there's a lot of certain exchanges of things.
Maybe they just like ponies, bro.
No,
it's
they
not
don't
just
like
ponies.
Absolutely right. Some people made tulpas for sex slaves.
It's not just,
which is weird because you have an imaginary sex slave. So what's really
so you
getting
say
all
some,
punishment?
but I'm pretty sure that there's a lot of dudes saying "my little pussy."
Oh shit! It's right here.
Purpose.
No, you're right. Look, it's right here. Look, the number of active
Disgusting.
participants in these online communities is in the low hundreds, and few meetings in person have taken place. They belong to primarily urban, middle class, Euro-American, adolescent, and young adult demographics, and they cite loneliness and social anxiety as an incentive to pick up the practice. 93.7% of respondents.
That's disrespectful to incels.
Yo, it's so crazy. There's so much behind.
I mean, it's part of their squad. They need to deal with it.
I didn't know it went that deep. This is crazy. Keep going.
Have you ever been on Reddit before?
It goes deeper.
Bro, you need to go on other parts of the internet. All the crazy shit you say,
I like
you be
Reddit.
Wildly entertained.
I'm just saying, I just never came across that. I've come across some crazy shit, but that just, I don't know.
It gets crazier though.
Hey, if you don't think to look for it,
I'll tell me he doing some Vince McMahon shitting on niggas' heads type of shit.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. Except with
93.7% of respondents expressed that their involvement with the creation of tulpas has made their condition better and led to new, unusual sensory experiences. Some practitioners have a sexual and romantic interaction with their tulpas. Though the practice is
it's crazy.
Those
so
are
you would fucking rape your friend.
Towards
Actually, I take that back. They're not bestiality individuals. They are anthropomorphic.
So you have someone else in your mind
their own minds,
trying to rape your
They do
consciousness?
anthropomorphic
Created
shit.
like You created like a exterior, but not exterior consciousness, a plural consciousness that's constantly trying to do sexual things to you. Like
That's
basically,
crazy. What does that make you? That the kind of life
Just
that
means
you're
you conjure to
living,
suck you.
that you got to conjure up your own friend just so you can fucking rape it.
that's crazy.
Well,
That's crazy. You don't want a friend. You just want to fucking destroy.
I don't want to hurt nobody.
Life
I
that
don't
you're
wanna,
gonna create too.
I don't.
Essentially,
I
that's
don't want to
fucking
hurt
wild.
nobody. I'm gonna just hurt my
Nobody loves
imaginary
me, but I
self.
love me. I love me.
You just
Now
sitting
imagine
you
walking into
sitting
a
in-
room and seeing somebody just fucking air like, yeah, you fucking thing.
you
Get out of
sitting
here,
in
mind your
Star,
business.
you sitting in
Nobody.
Starbucks and you go,
Hey, real quick though.
like, what the
Corey,
hell's
what do you
wrong with
think
you?
about all this?
My
You've been
if
around, you've been
is
silent.
raping me.
He's losing brain cells listening to this.
Yeah,
This is crazy.
I'm trying to keep up, man.
Well, we're talking about how there's
Keep on
lonely ass
keeping up.
males that want to
Oh
fuck
fuck.
ponies, and so they've gotten involved in a Buddhist concept known as tapas, and so now they're trying to manifest this pony pussy so they don't have to feel so alone as a community.
Aren't they called like bronies or something like that?
Imagine you just
That's correct. That
you
is
just
correct. They are bronies.
eating right now.
Listen, you just sitting down at McDonald's, right? By yourself.
Never.
And then you just hear somebody. I do it all the time. Bro. I be on break.
We can tell by the shit you
Whatever.
say, but keep
Listen,
going.
you just sit. All right. You sitting somewhere. I don't know where's your preferred place to sit alone.
Somewhere.
But you sitting somewhere.
McDonald's?
I don't know, man. Maybe I want a burger. I don't know.
McDonald's, okay.
You sitting somewhere, right? And you just sitting there. You thinking about how you don't want to
Sitting
go
on
to
a
work
bench
next
in the
week.
middle of the ocean.
You just sitting there, and then you just hear someone in your mind go, "Give me your butt." and you just,
oh, wait,
bro, that's
cool. You can fuck by your manifestations now.
Yo, give me that
that's
butt.
what I'm trying to say. You manifested
Give
a
me
rapist.
that butt.
He's trying to
Is that what you mean?
Nah, that's not what Macho hears. What Macho hears is, let me see your dick. Does it look like mine?
He said, "Give me $1." That's what he hears. He's give me $1.
Give me a dog.
I think that's what Tourette's is.
That same thought form that was trying to be on Miggs left and it failed, and now it's on Macho. Give me $1.
What Miguel's eating right now.
You stupid, bro.
Tourette's syndrome is probably a if of Tulpa, Tulpa, trying to manifest itself in the world. Because you be sitting there, you be like, fuck,
Tourette's.
I believe the scientific name
it's
is
trying to come out.
Tulpa.
It's trying to come out into the physical world. Get its
This shit out right here.
That's what I think Tourette's syndrome is.
No.
Sorry.
Hi, Corey.
Are able to communicate.
Imagine your Tulpa is Bob Saget.
Yo, no rappers. No rappers, no bands,
Bob
please.
Saget.
What?
My bad. Sorry about that.
So I heard you've been talking shit about me at the end of your show.
You just be sitting down, you just like,
yeah.
I'd be weird, bro.
Why you did that?
Because I can, dead ass man. Do what I want. You dead. Shouldn't have did shit that made me say weird ass shit about your weird ass life.
Ask him
Stay
about Mary
dead.
Kate and Ashley.
Right, I would have been like, why did you say that shit about that living
really
doll?
ask him about what's the other one? Elizabeth Olsen? That's the one. That's the one.
Like
right
pussy.
I would be asking some questions to him that would make his thought form spirit ass be like, you know what, I'm just gonna go. I'd be like, yeah,
I don't think he would disappear on you because he would just be like, yeah, I did that.
Don't make me put on one of those radios that scans radio so I can pick up your answers and shit.
No, I picture his relationship with Jodie Sweeney.
Hey, you know what? We've already listed enough names that would have been underage with him that I think we could just stop there.
Charlie.
It says practitioners believe tulpas are able to communicate with their hosts in ways they sense and do not originate from their own thoughts. Some practitioners report experiencing hallucinations of their tulpas. Practitioners that have hallucinations report being able to see, hear, and touch their tulpas.
They mean fuck. They mean fuck.
Niggas be like this. Over here, bitch.
The Squares survey of 141 respondents.
My tulpa is a Rebecca.
They found that the rates of neurodivergence, including autism, ADD, and ADHD, were significantly higher among the surveyed answers.
Really?
Wait.
Population.
The host has autism or does
The
the
host.
Topa?
They said
Because I've been like, you a fucked up
140
person. How you created a fucking autistic Topa? That's not even cool. Like, that's not even cool. Like, why would that? Like, you fucked up. Fuck you. Leave the Topa. Get the fuck out of here.
Autistic
Let's
Topa?
win
Yo,
you.
you stupid, bro.
You idiot.
Ladies and gentlemen, he didn't mean that. He just randomly.
I totally did.
Yeah, he totally did. That's crazy. An autistic Topa. That's crazy.
So you know what,
motherfucker.
Only you can come up with that shit.
I'm gonna sit there. I'm gonna try all night to manifest a fucking Down syndrome Topa.
How you think Ice Spice was born?
Yeah, to be fair, Down syndrome people be cool as fuck. So I mean, like that's
they
fucked
cool
up.
as
But
fuck,
like,
bro.
they're always gonna be there to support me. Like, let's go.
Always gonna
Bro.
have happy ass conversations and shit.
Right, like that's actually not a bad angle to have.
Legos.
Always happy.
If you hear
They
me
see
just
the best of
randomly
life.
talk about Legos, I'm talking to my Topa.
Word. Why would you want to manifest somebody that's smarter and wittier than you?
Bro, how do you think
Did you
Ice
finish?
Spice was born?
Huh?
Wait,
That's
what?
She's a thought form manifestation. Did somebody
Ice-
wish if
you said-
Wendy from Wendy's was black?
Who
Is
you
that how
said?
she
You
came
said
around?
You said Ice
That's
Spice?
She's
Down
not
syndrome
black.
Topa.
What?
Yeah,
She's not black.
don't disrespect Ice Spice like
I
that.
know she's not, but there's a lot of things that would be missing for me to be Wendy
Ice
from
Spice
Wendy's. So you
definitely
know.
was made
Ice
in
Spice
a
is not a
fucking
Topa.
factory. She was
Are
made
you
in-
sure? Have you ever seen her in person?
She was made in a factory. Automatic. She's a test tube
Yeah,
baby.
a thought form factory.
Oh, shut up. Probably
See,
have a
look at that.
mom
I just
and
got the
dad.
question right.
Bro, she's from Grand Concourse, my nigga. Ain't nothing good
She's from the
about her.
Bronx.
Right.
Grand what?
Ain't nothing good
Grand
about her.
Concourse.
Grand from who's dinging off like we on a game show,
Ding
Somebody got
dong.
an answer right.
I mean,
right? It's like, does that just happen in life when you say the correct answer?
I'm from Grand Concourse.
Nigga, you ain't from Grand Concourse, nigga. You from Pelham. You talk about Grand Concourse. Every time I walk through Grand Concourse, I automatically feel like I caught a
Chill
fucking
out, chill out,
STD.
nigga. Don't tell her that. She's from Throgs Neck.
You walk
I mean,
up Fordham,
she's from
you walk
Frogs
up-
Neck. These
you
places
walk
sound
Frogs
dirty.
You
My
walk
dad's
I don't
not
wanna
saying
go
that
there.
to you. I'm from Grand Concourse too.
They are
I
dirty.
feel like I need to wear. Do I need PPE to go to Frogs
Listen,
Neck?
That man said, I don't want to
if you
go there.
if you go through Fordham, you gotta wear a fucking condom and a face mask. You gotta wear gloves and carry fucking Clorox wipes. If you a female, you gotta be on the pill. Have you got it.
So essentially, you're saying if I go to New York now, I need PPE.
No. He didn't say
the
New York.
Bronx.
Yeah, exactly. You got to be specific.
Yeah, but you know, you want to be safe with
You
people.
get like-
it's not like it's walled off. It's not like Berlin.
What
You gotta
Mom
make
was
sure
trying
you're
to say
safe.
is, when you go to the Bronx or even Brooklyn, walk with a pocket full of Plan Bs.
That's
You know what,
crazy
I don't
for
think
somebody from
I
California.
don't think I'm gonna even go. I don't
See?
think I'm gonna go.
Just wear that suit they wore at ET at the end.
Be careful when you go to California.
That would be the PPE I was wondering. Like, what level should I go? Should I go thick rubber suit?
Full hazmat.
Just answer my question. I should have
Alright.
Go with the
dedicated
poopy
oxygen.
Nigga,
The poopy suit.
every
You gotta wear a poopy
So I can
suit.
shit on myself.
Caca
That's a
suit.
good call.
every
No, so you don't
51
get shit
level.
on you.
That's a good call.
The birds got HIV, nigga.
It just says y'all the yokels of New York. That's crazy.
Another
see,
one.
that's a thing.
I like that. That's funny.
Yo, everybody in the Bronx that ever hears that is gonna be pissed.
That's one thing I tell you
Yeah,
about the Bronx.
they're gonna be brushing off
they
their
gonna be like,
chins with a toothbrush, looking all good.
he right. They gonna be like, he right.
Yo, he said we just yokels. Don really said that.
Yo, where the fuck was I? Vishwas goes on to speculate that people may be more likely to want to make a because these groups have a higher level of loneliness. Topomancers were typically white, articulate, and imaginative, and lived in urban areas. The fuck? Fuck you.
You don't say.
I fucking
You
know
don't
it.
say.
A 2022 study found individuals that did not have psychosis who experienced more than one unusual sensory phenomenon, in this instance ASMR and tulpomancy, were found to have greater hallucination
They had some asthma.
than people that only experienced one of the two sensory phenomena. Palmer and Al.
Fucking ASMR. That shit is stupid, bro.
Palmer and Al described the internet tulpomancer subculture as being used to overcome loneliness and mental suffering, and noted the close association with reality shifting,
changing your sexual
away
identity.
deliberately inducing a form of self-hypnosis in order to escape from current reality into a pre-planned desired
Man,
reality,
just smoke
or
some weed,
wonderland
man.
of chosen fantasy.
Yo, dead ass. It just this
Bro,
just
I'd
sounds
rather you do a
This
line
is so
of
much.
coke and maybe a little bit of crack.
This is what
I'd
people
rather
do.
you
Maybe
do
a
that.
little bit. Nobody does a little bit of crack. We just do a little bit of crack.
Just microdose that bitch.
A little,
Microdose
just put
crack.
a little sprinkle in your blood.
Microdose
You
some
be high,
fucking
dog.
mental.
No, there's
Listen,
no microdose.
you
Later, once you do
microdose
it, you're just
some
like
heroin, you be
increasing
alright.
the dose every
Jesus,
time.
microdose heroin.
You, I was
Alright, so,
saying, man.
do y'all want to know how to make a tulpa?
I'm
No.
trying right now. He
You
comes
know,
up with Down syndrome. Man.
before you say how you make a tulpa, I just want to say to those of you out there fitting this description, making tulpas or whatever, you can stay your tulpa over here to fight, because I'm gonna beat that motherfucker ass. Y'all weird as shit. Y'all need God, and you need to like just
You
love
need
yourself,
Jesus.
get a
You wanna
job,
meet my
leave the
tulpa?
house, move, beat off, go find somebody that's not as attractive as a 10 and maybe work where you're at. Maybe you're at a 4 or 5. If you work out a little bit, work on your personality, maybe you get a 6. You know, accept where you are in life so you can be happy, and maybe you won't have to make some bullshit called a tulpa that I'm gonna have to beat the shit out of, or I'll have my imaginary friend, as I mentioned in the beginning of the show, whoop their ass on your behalf, so you can remember, oh, this is some old bullshit and I'm psychotic. This isn't real, because you know what will happen if you send your toppers at me? Nothing, because ain't
You say
shit
your
gonna happen. It's
toppers.
imaginary, and it don't fucking matter. So, I hope you find God and you stop.
And
Right? And stop.
Excuse me, I mean myself,
go to
and you
Del
stop making your
Taco.
problems our problems.
Go to Del
Thank you.
Taco and get 5 tulpas with extra white sauce.
5 tulpas, get the extra hot sauce.
Where do y'all think I found this step-by-step guide to create a tulpa?
Where do you find it?
8chan,
Yeah. Where
A
did I
Upper
find it?
right.
A Buddhist transcript.
MySpace.
Nah, I mean, if
Send
somebody,
MySpace.
if the author of WikiHow is Buddhist, then yeah.
That's crazy.
No,
That
it was definitely a
WikiHow.
Zoroastrian.
Who the fuck
people
is
were really
WikiHow?
psychotic back then when they were battling their version of depression and loneliness.
So it starts with
Nah, that never happened for them.
it starts with things you should know.
There's no Buddhist word for depression.
Intelligence.
That's because there's no Buddhist
One that they
language.
resorted to
That's
just
why
going
there's no
crazy.
words.
All right, can you give us the recipe?
Yeah, right here. It says the first things are things you should know.
Crack.
Start by
Get a
planning
Ouija board.
No.
What? Why not? Start by planning your tulpa's appearance and personality. Sketch a picture of them or create a bulleted list of their physical
I'm about to
emotional
start sketching right
attributes.
now.
It doesn't just you don't have
Y'all,
to sketch it. You
y'all
can
better
create.
hire somebody to draw y'all shit.
So you're just gonna
Oh, no,
create
I'm
a
good.
friend.
I got IT, bro.
All right, close your eyes and visualize your tulpa in your imagination, picturing as much detail as possible. Imagine what your tulpa smells or feels like to make it more vivid.
It's like trying to pass some shit. When you stuck up.
I don't know
Imagine-
why. I don't know, but mine came out looking like Rayman.
What do you mean they came out looking like Rayman? You drew it.
You say Rayman?
What were you trying to draw? Like, were you not trying to draw Rayman?
Imagine explaining the objects in
It
your
must
room.
have worked. This shit froze.
Who froze?
Nah, I'm not.
Oh man, this man was frozen.
I thought he was
God
done, bro.
I thought his shit froze.
I'm about to show
Imagine
y'all.
explaining the objects in your room to your Tulpa to make it feel more real. Then bring your Tulpa on walks or interact with it regularly to fully realize it. See, it is a Tamagotchi.
No,
So just be
I
fooled.
just
Bro.
drew my shit. Hold on, I'm
Those
almost done.
shits died for no reason. Like,
I
don't
just
even
need-
do this.
Yo,
I'm
Mom,
almost
turn up
done.
your stick figure.
I'm almost done. Hold on,
Just be
almost done.
fully
Join this shit.
schizophrenic.
Hold on. That is-
All right. I'm just going to tell you step one. Consider if creating a Tulpa is right for you.
No.
Are commonly described as their own sentient beings. Some see them as permanent or independent creations. This means that depending on how attached you get to your Tulpa, you may not be able to dismiss them once they're created. So to be confident that you want to manifest a Tulpa before you begin. In addition, some feel that dismissing a Tulpa is comparable to abandoning a friend or a family member, since they view Tulpas as self-aware beings. Visit sites like tulpa.info or watch YouTube videos about Tulpamancers to learn more about the practice. There
I
are
just
many
drew my
ways to
Tulpa.
have and interact with Tulpas. Let me just state by saying, what the fuck?
I just drew my Tulpa, bro.
I just drew my
Drew.
Tulpa. Why your Tulpa look like he has Down syndrome?
He does. I'm just playing, people.
Yo, you're dumb. Yo,
Let me just say that
He
I'm going to
does.
hell. My fault, people.
I want
That's
to make
crazy.
these
A Tulpa
men
sounds
feel
like
a little guilty, right? They're saying abandoning them is like abandoning a family member or a friend. No, motherfucker. You created this being. It is your child. That is child abuse and child neglect, bitch.
Ugh.
So now
What
that
happened
you
if you-
got rights.
So what happened if your Tulpa's
Yo,
not a
that's too
child?
much.
Like you make a whole grown man type shit.
You can.
What if my Tulpa is like a doppelganger of my dad or some shit like that?
Can we do a
That can't happen.
I got two fathers.
That can't happen because Carlos Santana already exists.
He don't talk. He just plays the guitar.
All right,
It'd be a copy and paste of fucking Carlos Santana.
Number 2 is make your Tulpa from scratch or base it on a character. To begin, decide whether you want to make an entirely new Tulpa by mixing and matching aspects of its appearance or personality, or whether you want to manifest a character that already exists, like from a movie or a book. It's sometimes easier to create a Tulpa based off the character, but the Tulpa you create often deviates from the character in some ways. They might have a slightly different voice or appearance. Now, when I was doing some of this research, a lot of Tulpa mentors they tell
some
you
of the exercises.
if you want to build your Tulpa off of a already established character, you must let your Tulpa know that it's only solely based off of this character and not said character itself, because you can confuse your Tulpa.
Imagine if your Tulpa was based off of Denzel Washington in Training Day.
Mine would be
Why would you do
Ragnar
that, though?
Lothbrok had a baby with Thanos.
I got cases on all you bitches.
All right,
Man,
all
so
right.
I'm gonna
Oh,
imagine
you
something that's
motherfuckers.
more powerful than everything. Like that's gonna change anything. Like it's imaginary. It doesn't matter.
I spit on you. I'll be like that.
Yeah, but like unless you spit on me, ain't nothing ever gonna happen. So like, I don't care. You can have a baby of Thanos and like God. Like it doesn't matter. It's not real.
Mine would be Kratos and Ragnar put together.
Right. It can be Kratos and Ragnarok and Thermopylae and Mother Earth and a fucking cat. It doesn't really matter who the parents are because that motherfucker ain't real.
I feel like we're playing Dungeons and Dragons and shit.
Exactly. No, because Dungeons and Dragons get somewhere. This
was
isn't gonna go
shit,
nowhere
bro. I used
except
to love
somewhere
playing
more
that game.
psychotic.
Number 3, sketch out your Tulpa's appearance, much like Macho just did, to help you visualize them. If you're creating a tulpa from scratch, it's often easier to imagine and visualize them if you have a visual aid like a sketch or another image. Sit down and think about what you want your tulpa to look like. Getting as specific as
Why would
possible.
you want a young boy?
Either
That's just
make
what
a
I'm
loose
saying.
sketch
Nah, he's
or
22.
simply a bulleted list of their physical features. If you have trouble
He's black,
sketching or
black on black.
visualizing, use an avatar creation tool like Canva or even a video game character creator to
They
envision your
said
tulpa.
use Canva.
Your tulpa doesn't have to be a humanoid. They can be an animal, a plant, even a sentient object.
Or for those of you that've seen Doom 2, they could be like a Harkonnen pet.
Some people warn against creating tulpas based on real people, as
Like, it
this
should
might
be like
be
Predator
seen
and
as
shit.
disrespectful to the person or an invasion of their privacy as an individual. So no Denzel Washington tulpas.
And no Denzel Washington.
Who the fuck was just making the Predator now?
This man's croaking into the fucking mic.
What the fuck is that?
The Predator. my imaginary friend's gonna be the fucking Predator, a light skinned one, albino one.
A light skinned. Why is he gotta be a light skinned predator? Why do they have race like that?
Because I know I can fuck him up. You fucking
Jason, you hitting the ball or
sauce ass
something?
motherfucker. Like, your fucking dreads is weak, bitch.
Hey yo, if that young teen chick Indian could kill or beat a predator in the jungle, you can do it too, Macho.
Step 4 is describe your tulpa's personality in writing. List as many personality traits as you want your tulpa
Straight
to have.
hatred.
Start with broad qualities like friendly or intelligent, then get more specific like enjoys
Don't call
dancing.
women broads.
You said intelligent.
You don't have to fully realize your tulpa's personality just yet. Many people have tulpas that their tulpa evolved or chose their own personality as they spent more time thinking about them. Also, ask yourself, what does my tulpa want? What motivates them? Giving your tulpa wants and needs makes it easier to think of them as their own being. In many ways, creating a tulpa is a lot like creating a fictional character, just that many people believe tulpas are more real. Part 2, visualizing tulpas.
When we come back next week, bro, I'm gonna have like 8 tulpas.
You already got one right now.
I got 3.
All right, and for some reason, none of them are your dick twin.
Nope. I tell you, none of them have private parts.
I don't know what he looks like.
There's 3 parts with 3 steps each. We're on part 2.
Let's get it.
Visualizing your tulpa. Just practice visualizing your tulpa's form.
You know it.
Sit down and close your eyes or begin to meditate. As you do, imagine your tulpa in your head. Look at them from every possible angle you can think of.
Conjuring a demon.
Try to visualize every detail of their appearance. Be patient and take time visualizing them. This process can take up to a few hours. Envision them in your mind until you feel comfortable and confident that you can imagine or remember their appearance later. If you're having trouble, improve your imagination by practicing visualizing simpler objects first, like a wooden chair. Then move on to the tulpa once
This is
you
kind of
feel
like
more
creeping me out now because for some reason Michael Jackson just came to my mind. That shit
That's your
creeped me
tulpa
the
right now?
fuck out. I was like, yo, who would I use? And that nigga came up to me and say, hey, Macho. I'm like, nah, I don't know.
Bro, he said don't use
Said,
real people.
he whispered it. Hee. And just walk out of the room.
Oh, you see, this is why Michael showed up to you. Because step 2 of part 2 is imagine touching your tulpa. This is where your tulpa starts
Michael
really
Jackson
manifest.
touched your tulpa, Macho?
He's a virgin. Michael's a virgin.
Did he touch you, Mike?
Forcing.
Macho's
Why would
always
you call
touched
the stage
tulpa.
forcing?
What happened? Say that again. See?
It says step 2 up. Step 2 in part 2 is imagine touching your tulpa. This is where your tulpa starts to really manifest. Many people call this stage.
Now my tulpa gotta be a girl. Shit.
They call this stage forcing. Then forcing your tulpa into being. Imagine feeling the texture of their hair and their clothes, or imagine their hand. Focus on one texture at a time and spend 10 to 15 minutes on each until you start to think of your tulpa as a physical presence. If it helps, touch your own hair or the fabric of your clothes while envisioning your textures.
Why does my Topa feel brilliant? Why my Topa feel brilliant?
Macho saying Margot Robbie, Margot Robbie, Margot Robbie.
I fucking love that bitch. That's that bitch though. But why mine feel Bradley though?
Brayley, what the fuck? That
Oh,
motherfucker
shit.
got the measles, mumps, and rubella all at the
That
same
nigga's
time.
a Ninja Turtle with one eye.
Step 3 is visualize your Topa's movements. Imagine how your Topa moves and
Straight
walks.
fucking
Imagine
ninja.
them walking around your room or
Like a
doing a dance.
gangly bitch. They
It's
all
a
move like
fucking-
Gollum.
It's a
It's gonna
fucking
ruin your
ninja.
Tulpas' imaginations. It's gonna be the baddest bitch you ever imagined, but they move like Gollum.
They move like fucking Brock Lesnar in his prime.
Bro, you ever seen Barbarian?
Barbarian.
No.
Yeah, I see it.
No.
The show? Or
Yo,
the
that movie you talking about?
The movie or the show?
Yes.
Oh my god, that movie is crazy.
Very good movie.
That's what the fuck Macho's fucking Topa's gonna come out looking
Like,
like.
Arnold Schwarzenegger, like, put it down.
Pull her
Don't
up.
do that. You fucking
the movie.
faggot.
Now we're definitely fat. I was gonna say fag.
I said
Flag.
faggle.
You did not say faggle. What does that even mean?
All right, Tyler, you were supposed to
What is
cover
the-
me up on that one.
You talking about Faggle Rock?
I see that one. That's the one she stuck. That's where this bitch, right?
Yeah, but the Topa is weird looking.
I'll show you the Topa thing. If it'll stop
see
trying
this-
to take me to
this
fucking...
She like
this one-
stays in a B&B, right? And it's just
Yeah, in the
I see.
basement.
So I gotta check those ratings. Make sure somebody been there.
right.
Yeah, buddy.
I
All right.
really enjoyed
I
my
don't
stay
take-
here.
I don't take no
I did not
B&B with a
enjoy my
basement.
stay here. There was a giant person eating thing downstairs. Like you gotta look out for that.
Hey, listen. All I know is
Yo,
that.
what the fuck is that?
Oh, he look like the nigga
Aw.
from the people under the
Look
stairs.
at that. Look, they just need a hug.
My nigga at the
They
end.
just need a hug and some love and
Get that
maybe
all
a
I'm saying is that she
Yo, you
makes
ever
me
seen-
fucking just a long suck her titty.
Yo,
I
that's
see the motherfucker in
that's
the
a
teeth.
skinwalker.
What? Get out of
just a
here.
hug, a kiss, and a
You-
ball
you
peen
ever
hammer to
seen-
the front of the skull.
You ever seen people under the stairs?
Yeah, they're remaking it.
Yeah, they're really tiny and they're like
All right,
mice.
not roach,
Jordan-
not
Jordan
roach,
Peele's remaking it.
not roach,
Get
but the
outta
nigga
here.
that comes out at the end and he goes, "We got it." That's him. He looks just like that nigga.
I like Jordan Peele movies, but I never feel inclined to watch.
He's great. He's great. I think he's
All right, where
great.
was I with number 3? So imagine your Topa's move, your
Yeah,
Topa moves and walks. Imagine them walking around
A
your
blue
room.
whale's penis
Yeah.
is 7 foot.
Yeah, the first
10
thing that
inches.
these motherfuckers do is imagine you're moving your
Second
hand
biggest mammal.
down my pants, and
Think about their
getting
gestures.
familiar.
The gestures
Fucking
they
grown
use when they walk, when they talk, or emote. How do they move their hands when they're happy or sad? Work on expressions last. Try to imagine a conversation with them and think about what their reactions and facial expressions would be. Always remember each of these steps take time. Try not to rush it and enjoy the creation process.
Nah,
Step
my top
4
is wilding right now.
is
He doing
imagine your
backflips.
Topa in a particular setting. Some people find it easy to visualize their Topas in a mental environment where the Topa can interact with its surroundings. These environments are called wonderlands. Think of a setting where your Topa is most comfortable. For example, if your Topa is an animal, they might be comfortable in a forest. Imagine your Topa moving about its pace, jumping and sitting. Then imagine yourself in that place, interacting with your Topa. Your wonderland is also a handy place to leave your Topa if you get tired while creating it. Visit the mental wonderland later to resume the process. Now, when doing all of this research, I came across some guy's story, and I forgot his name. But he said he got so good with his Topa that his Topa started to take form in his body and walk in his shoes and do things in his likeness.
Nah,
Right?
we're not doing that.
But the crazy thing is, he forgot to make a wonderland, so his whole shit would shut off when his Topa was in his body.
I guess he ain't that experienced.
No, because if you don't make a fucking Wonderland, then there's no place for your Tulpa or you if you're switching with your Tulpa to be in the meantime. I feel like I've seen a movie like that too.
Kind of like a split personality.
Oh, Split.
There you go.
Was it Split?
Where he would.
They went inside in his head, right? And they showed all the personalities.
Yeah. Yeah, Patricia and all the other ones, yeah. That they had to go into the light to take the spot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was Split?
Yeah. I mean, I feel like there's other movies like that too. But yeah, Split. I mean,
there's a movie called Jonathan or something like that, and he's got two personalities inside of himself. And like it's weird, bro. It's weird. It's like he'll go, one of them's during the day and then like he goes to sleep and the other one wakes up. So he like has to live two separate lives, but in the same body. And it's crazy. It was on Netflix a while back.
There's people that really live like that though. Mm-hmm. It's crazy because people with split personality disorder, one of the personalities can be allergic to something and having an allergic reaction. And if they switch mid allergic reaction, their allergic reaction will clear up.
It's crazy.
The mind is a powerful thing, bro.
Mm-hmm. I think that's almost a superpower.
This is the last part, is it? Yeah, this is the last part. There's 4 steps in this part. And this part is called Giving Your Tulpa Experiences. Number 1, start a basic conversation with your Tulpa. The next step to creating your Tulpa is giving them the voice of their own. Ask them questions and imagine them answering it in your own voice while moving their mouth, also known as parroting. Ask them what the weather's like or have them ask you how your day was. Talk to them in your mind or out loud. It might feel a little awkward at first, but stick with it. Your Tulpa might talk in your own voice at first, and you'll probably have to think up their responses for them. But eventually, you might find that their voice will become distinct, and you won't have to think as hard about their words because you just force yourself into schizophrenia.
Wow.
It didn't just say that last part. I added that. Number 2. Introduce your Tulpa to the objects in your room. Now, begin showing your Tulpa the world around you. This is known as narration and helps you envision your Tulpa's personality and how to react to stimuli. As a person does, stimuli as a person does, period, whatever. To start, simply introduce your Tulpa to objects in the room, explaining that they are and what they do, as though they were teaching a child. As you progress and start to think of your Tulpa as a more independent being, imagine going on adventures with your Tulpa in your wonderland. This helps you bond and form new experiences with them while you're still manifesting. Hey, Tulpa, let's go down to my basement. Have you ever read 50 Shades of Grey? Giving your number 3, visualize your Tulpa throughout the day to make them feel more real. How the fuck is visualizing your Tulpa making them feel real? Anyway, go for a walk and have your Tulpa.
They have to have feelings.
Or have them help you with your chores or homework. Occasionally, hold your Tulpa's hand, hug them, or carry them on your shoulders. This helps you to move your Tulpa from your mind and into the real world. Also, practice envisioning your Tulpa with your eyes open, which is known as imposition or imposing your Tulpa into the real world. It's called hallucinating, motherfucker. And if you're not on any hallucinogenics, then you really need to get checked.
That's what it sounds like. Like you're literally creating something just only from your mind. And you creating a life of conversations and interactions and bonding with this. You got to fucking screw loose or 5.
Yeah, but I kind of think that the collective consciousness can create something out of thin air.
No, it can. And that's what makes it, because you're going beyond a psychological boundary now where like you can't come back from that. There's no acting normal. There's no shutting that off, so to speak. You know, like once you're fully enthralled in that, like you're gonna believe in that. That's gonna be your manifestation, your reality, and coming down from that, it's gonna make you look even more crazier in the first place for even getting in it.
Y'all hear me?
No.
Yeah, we hear you.
Number 4 is keep interacting with your tulpa until it gets easier. Many believe that with practice and patience, you'll reach a point where you don't have to puppet your tulpa, and they'll act on their own instead or even becoming sentient. Keep regularly imagining your tulpa as you go about your day until you don't have to think about how or why they would do something, and instead just do it. Also, eventually your memories by visualizing a door and letting your tulpa walk through the door into a specific memory. This way, they get to know more about you, and your interactions will be more personal. Once your tulpa starts saying or doing things you might not expect them to, you fully formed your tulpa. They'll keep changing and evolving as time goes on, though just like you do. Now it's crazy because there were people that they had said to have done this and created relationships with their tulpas to the point where the tulpa started thinking for itself. And once it started becoming sentient, in some cases it would become malicious, and they would have to eliminate the tulpa in order to get rid of it. And the only way to get rid of a tulpa is the same way you get rid of a person. You have to fucking kill it, but you have to kill it in your mind.
That's crazy. Killing your own creation in your mind. That's like
so
next
well
level
known.
inception.
That's schizophrenia, bro.
That's like a starter kit to kill your fucking kid.
To me, it does sound like induced schizophrenia. You're inducing it on yourself.
Yep.
That's extra.
It's a manifestation of bullshit.
As you're bullshitting,
I'm definitely trying that shit.
Who the fuck is sucking dick on camera?
Oh.
Yo, deadass, what's all that noise in the back?
Whale sperm splashing on
Niggas, stop it.
hitting the bay.
Whale sperm right now?
Well penis is 7 foot 10 inches long.
You're playing with 7 foot 10 inches
Hey, yo,
long.
kick this nigga out.
Yo,
Get
it out, bro.
I apologize.
Is that what's in your
You
cup?
don't apologize for nothing.
You got
You
a
just
wine
don't
glass
take
full
care
of
of
whale sperm?
yourself.
Yo,
do you think that animals could create tulpas? Like maybe a chimpanzee could create a tulpa?
What do you
No,
think
did
about
you
this
not
topic?
just hear everything he just said? Ain't no way a chimp is just gonna sit there and do it. He's gonna spend 15 minutes stroking
All right, how
the
about
hair
this
of
one? All
his
right, you right.
tulpa. That's not
You right.
gonna
You right.
happen.
If
They
any
do
kind of
say that.
mammals like
How
monkeys
about
can
this one?
manifest a tulpa, we're fucked. Have you not seen Planet
No,
of the
I
Apes?
think. Have you seen? All right. Do you know that dolphins use more of their brain than we do? So maybe a dolphin can create a tulpa.
They use their brains to
Maybe.
rape.
Yeah, I was gonna say that they love doing that. So
For
let's hope they don't.
echolocation.
No, to
No,
sexual
I know.
assault.
I
Do
know
y'all
they
think
rape.
Yeah.
accountability to this tulpa shit?
Huh?
I think it sounds like it's either induced schizophrenia and or just the conjuring of a demon,
I think it's more like a motherfucker got
which
too
is
much
kind of
hands
the
on his
same
time. He ain't
thing.
got no friends or family.
I could kind of see that conjuring of a demon thing because it takes over your whole psyche at that point. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like how The Exorcist started.
Of course, she was. Just
Nobody knows how
on
the
the
Exorcist
floor and
started.
turning her head
It's a
around.
demon
True.
possessing people.
Didn't
You
she
know that
play
wasn't special
the
effects when she did that? That was real.
When I think of The Exorcist, the scene from Scary Movie pops in my head every time.
Fuck me!
Yep. The whole scene, James Woods, everything.
Says your mother
It's
sucks dick in
hilarious.
hell.
Father, your mother's in here. Would you like
Your
to leave a
mother's under
message?
here.
Yes,
Mom, would you get
Mom?
out of there,
Would you
please?
get out of there? I'm working. Oh, you're no fun.
See you later, Mrs. Palmer.
You forgot though. Beforehand, he blessed the house by taking a shit so terrible.
Yo, that lady is hilarious though. That old lady's in another movie, and I see that meme going around everywhere. That she's dying on her hospital bed, and she goes to her granddaughter. She says, "Closer." She says, "Learn how to give a good blowjob, honey." On her deathbed.
Hey,
see
not
that.
bad advice.
That actually happened to me.
He's gonna be the best gawker in the world after that advice. Yes, Grandma. And then that
That's a
noise whatever
throgneck.
Macho was making.
That's a throgneck.
That's a throgneck.
Someone from that's a throgneck right there.
From Throgsneck, yeah.
They call her Ugga.
5,000.
What's your middle name?
Why would y'all know? Why would y'all know it to compare it to a frog's throat?
What?
No.
Why
Hey,
would we know?
Throgsneck is an area in the Bronx.
Go to the Bronx. Go to the Bronx.
Visit some family down south.
Throgsneck.
Throgsneck is an area in the Bronx.
That is our
Whole
episode on
Ave.
Tulpas.
Oh my god!
So before I leave you guys, I'm gonna leave you guys with this.
This Tulpa, that's how my Tulpa look right now. You can't hear it.
I can't hear her at all.
I thought it was just me because sometimes that happens. There we go.
It is just you.
Let's try for
operator.
Second time's a charm.
There's just one more thing. One thing in this world that you need to know. No one's going to have the guts to tell you.
All right.
Oh, that's
I wish I had been prepared for.
That's Gypsy Rose.
Yeah, Gypsy Rose. She's dying, aren't they? Look.
Learn how to give a good blowjob.
That's how I be.
And there you have it. Learn how to give it. And stay tuned because we're coming back with some more shit for that ass. And don't think too much, you might go blind.